In this video, we're going to go over how to remove and replace the inner tie rod end. 22mm socket to remove the lug nuts. Grab your tire. Before you start any tie rod end job, always make sure your steering wheel is straight and locked. If you're going to be doing a tie rod end replacement with an area like this is pretty rusted, but you always want to loosen up the jam nut before you do even just an outer or an inner together. That jam nut has to move. And that's a good way to determine whether you're going to need both inner and outer, even though one might not have play in it. So let's see if we can get this jam nut to loosen up. It's a 24mm socket. I'm going to put that right on there. I'm going to give it a good tug and let's see if we can get that to move. There we go. That's nice. That's exactly what we want. Now with a pair of cutters, I'm going to take this old cotter pin out. If it breaks, that's fine. We're replacing it anyways. Always replace the cotter pin, but if it breaks off in the tie rod end, it's not that big of a deal. Let's see if we can. Look at that. My lucky day. So we're going to remove the top nut on the outer tie rod end. Now this particular tie rod end assembly does not look factory, so this one is a 17mm socket. You might have a different size. I'm going to leave it right like that so that I can hit that with a hammer and not have it come down. We're going to hit it right here on the knuckle to get that to pop up. Now I'm going to remove that nut the rest of the way out. If the tie rod end starts to spin, just get a pair of locking pliers, lock that stud right in, hold it so that you can get that off the rest of the way. And now that your tie rod end is broken free because you loosened up that jam nut earlier, now you're going to count the turns. Knowing that it sits parallel, we're going to count the turns every time around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13. Now with the outer tie rod end off, I'm going to get a pair of locking pliers. I'm just going to grab this inner tie rod end, try to hold it so that I can take that jam nut completely off. I just want to stop it from spinning. That's 24mm wrench or socket. Now that I've got that tie rod end, I can take the wrench, 24mm. I broke that free a little bit more from that rust. It's perfect. Now I can get my wrench out of the way. I've got to take this nut all the way off in order to get that bellows boot out. I'm going to discard it because the new inner tie rod end comes with a new jam nut. There is an inner and an outer clamp on this bellows boot, and we have to remove both of them. This one is just a pair of pliers. Squeeze it and slide it right off. That will be reused. Set it aside. And now to get that inner one, we're probably going to just cut the clamp and we'll replace it with a plastic tie. And now you can see that inner clamp on that bellows boot right here. That's a factory style clamp. We're not going to be able to reuse it, so I'm just going to take some cutters and see if I can break it free. I'm just going to grab a pick and see if I can grab it, pull that apart. There we go. Now I'm going to let you in on a little tech tip. In order for this bellows boot to slide off smoothly and not tear, I'm going to just kind of pry up the end here the best I can with a small screwdriver. I'm going to spray some penetrating spray in there. Get that rubber lubricated up so it will slide right down this a lot easier. Trust me. Could be a headache. So now I'm going to grab the boot side by the rack, pull on that until it slides. See how that just came right off? Take this off, throw that away, and there's our bellow boot. Inspect it before you put it back on. If you need to, replace it. You want no tears, nothing. You don't want any water to get into that rack because that's the inner seal, and if it gets damaged, you'll have to replace your rack. So your new tie rod end is going to come with a new tin, lock tin. That's going to go on like this. Those grooves are going to sit in on the rack side, and then you see that flat spot right here and how the tin just barely goes over it on both sides. This is for you to be able to take the tie rod end on and off, but once it's in place, you're going to take a little punch and see if you can hammer this tin down flat to stop this from possibly spinning out. So in order to take this off, we have to see it folded over right here. It's there and on the opposite side here. Just going to take a punch and just peen it back so that we can peel this right off. I have a little punch here. There we go. Get the other side. You want to be, believe it or not, try to be as delicate as possible, because if you could do damage to this rack, it's not what you're aiming for. Perfect. I personally have an inner tie rod end tool. You can get this is nice enough room in here that you can get a pair of big like clamps on there or open pliers. See if you can break that free. Obviously counterclockwise on this. So I'm going to set this up on those flat spots, just like that. And my tool goes down the tie rod end. Goes in those two spots. Then I get a 1/2 inch ratchet. I'm going to break that free. See how that was just like an 1/8 to 1/4 of a turn? You cannot over tighten these. It's very important. You just snug them up because you'll twist that rack inside. Let me get those pliers, this tool. So now that the tie rod end is out, the bellows boot is out, I'm going to inspect my power steering rack. And I have a little bit of fluid here, nothing I'd be too worried about because it does get packed with grease this side. And with temperature change, the grease can turn liquefy and it might travel back and forth. Now, if it was dripping out and pouring out onto this subframe, then I would have a rack issue. So the new tie rod end's also coming with grease, which you're going to have to pack inside that socket. Coat this whole socket with it. We're going to use every bit right down. So now we're going to take our thumb or finger, pack it like this, but then we have to move that tie rod end around, which is not that easy. So I've got to grab it firmly and give it a... So I tweaked it all the way to one side, and I'm going to pack that grease in there. And then I'm going to tweak it to the other side and pack that grease. I'm going to do this a couple more times until I feel it move a little bit easier. All right, so now I've straightened it out pretty much best I can here. We're going to take that washer I showed you earlier. Now you can see that rack. Now you can see the two tabs that I'm talking about. So you're going to take those tabs and line them up like that. So put it on the threaded end. You can put a little dab of thread locker on that if you wish. And I mean a dab because you want to break it free someday. You don't want it not being able to turn off. This is why I center that the best I can so that I can get the threads to start normal. And before you bottom that out, you have to get a good angle and make sure that that washer is on the notch and locked in, just like that. I'm just holding that washer to make sure it doesn't move until it snugs up. Now I'm going to take this jam nut off. Set it aside. So now I'm going to do the same procedure, but I'm going to tighten up the tie rod end. I'm going to put my tool on, bring this over the tie rod end, bring it down. Get my 1/2 inch ratchet. Feel it snug, and I'm going to give it just a quick perfect. Now with that in, before I put that washer down, I'm going to actually use this to my advantage. I should have thought of this. Really pack that grease in where that pivot ball sits and drag it in. You can feel the difference. What a difference. You want to make sure you get the grease inside there. So let's see, it sucks it in. Now with the smallest hammer I have, I'm going to see if I can get the top one because it's really hard to get a pry bar or a brass punch in there. See if I can tap it over. Flip it around. Let's see if I can peen that over from underneath. Now I can get my brass punch on there and give it a good there we go. Even though it's a new tie rod end, always put some silicone paste right in here on this part because we don't want that binding up, and when you go get an alignment done and they loosen that up to adjust the outer tie rod end, that's going to spin in place, and if it's dry the boot will twist. That will cause damage. Bring it all the way in, make sure it's seated. Feel that it just clicked right in. You have a staging on that, and then you have to take the inner part and seat it. Make sure you push it all the way up, just like that. Give it a tug. We can put this clamp on, and then we'll put a plastic tie on the inner. So now with a plastic tie, I'm going to bring that in on that last spot. Make sure it's seated and sitting on that last rib. And then go ahead and there you go. So now I'm just going to take my needle nose pliers and make sure I can give this a nice snug till I hear the last possible click. And then I'm going to take my cutters, reach in there and cut the excess off. Straighten that out. I'm just going to take the threads and coat it lightly with some anti-seize. That just helps the person in the future for doing any suspension work. Let's start that jam nut. I'm going to bring it quite a ways in because I know I have the count of 13 turns on my outer tie rod end. That's what we counted those for earlier. So we're going to start it at 13. 1, 2, 5, 7, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3. Bring that jam nut in. Now remember, our steering wheel was straight. We preset it, so this should fall right in. So now we can line it right up with the knuckle. Move back and forth to seat it. Grab our new castle nut. Okay, that's a 21 millimeter socket, and the torque on it is 44 foot-pounds. So we're just going to snug it down and then we'll torque it. Perfect. Now I'll get my torque wrench. 21 millimeter socket, and the torque is 44 foot-pounds. Perfect. Now let's see if we need to move just a hair more for that to line up for the cotter pin. I'd rather be a little too tight than loose. Let's see. A little bit more. Perfect. I'll take my new cotter pin, guide that through. You want it to be flush. Grab the other side and pull it through. Take that pin, move it over the top. And I push that bottom one down and cut off the excess. Now we're going to take a 22 millimeter wrench and we're going to snug up this jam nut before we drive it. And you want that. So the actual torque specs for this is 33 foot-pounds, which obviously we're not going to be able to do. So we're just going to give it a good, bottom it out and give it a good turn. Perfect. After finishing this installation, it's important to have an alignment done on your vehicle. Now we're going to put the tire back on. Put all the lug nuts on by hand. Definitely start them. This is a 22 millimeter socket. We're just going to snug them up in a star pattern, and we're going to torque it to the factory spec. Now we can lower the vehicle. Torque is 94 foot-pounds. Double check. When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.